Well, there you have it. The MCD finally receives orders from the Apex Court, but yet a physical copy has not reached them. But nonetheless, the bulldozing has stopped for the moment. We're looking at debris that's strewn around across the mosque area. In fact, that was the spot where the bulldozers came by and managed to raise down at least 11 to 12 shops that are aligned along with the mosque. Let me cut across to Amit Bharadwaj for more on that. Amit, we see that right in front of the mosque, at least 12 shops that were allegedly illegal have been bulldozed. They've been raised down soon after the Apex Court stepped in after petitions that were filed asking for a quick stop on the encroachment drive. And it took about an hour and a half for the Municipal Corporation of Delhi to act on it and stop this encroachment drive. Now, what's the situation that you see on ground? Are you looking at resistance coming in from the locals there? What's the reactions you hear?
Absolutely right, Nabila. You know, the North MCD took a lot of time to stop the demolition activity, and I'll try to show you the visuals right now. Right in front of the mosque, you see the BSES officials, the electricity department staffers are working right here on the electricity pole. They are disconnecting the cables just to ensure that no mishap happens, because once these illegal encroachments were raised down by the MCD officials, there is and the electricity connectivity is still there in these establishments, and that is why these electricity department staffers have gone up and have disconnected the cables. क्या किया भैया आप लोगों ने, क्या तार हटाया है?
ये तार टूट गया था ना, नहीं
जो डेब्री है वो थोड़ा किनारे करके यहाँ पर जो नॉर्मल ट्रैफिक व्यवस्था और कानून व्यवस्था ठीक रहे. ठीक है, थैंक यू.
देखिए, लगातार मोर्चे पर बने हुए हैं स्पेशल कमिश्नर, और ये देखिए दीपेंद्र पाठक सुबह से यहाँ मोर्चे पर बने हुए. कानून व्यवस्था की जिम्मेदारी इन्हीं के ऊपर है. स्पेशल सीपी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है. और जरा मैं आपको तस्वीरें अब दिखाना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि साफ साफ ये तस्वीर साफ कर दी गई है कि जो ऑर्डर की कॉपी है वो मिल चुकी है, जो ड्राइव है वो बंद हो चुका है. लेकिन निशान आप देख पा रहे हैं यहाँ पर. जाहिर सी बात है, जो इलीगल इंक्रोचमेंट था उसको एमसीडी ने तोड़ा. और हमने बकायदा आज तक ने सवाल पूछा नॉर्थ एमसीडी के कमिश्नर से कि अचानक से आपने ये ड्राइव क्यों शुरू किया. तो उनका कहना था 11 अप्रैल को इसी जगह पर जहांगीरपुरी इलाके में एक स्पेशल ड्राइव चलाया गया था. इलीगल इंक्रोचमेंट को तोड़ा गया था. बावजूद इसके फिर से दोबारा इंक्रोचमेंट किया गया, जिसके बाद हमने ये स्पेशल ड्राइव चलाया. शायद यही वजह है कि हिंसा के बाद ये जो ड्राइव चलाया गया, इसको लेकर अलग अलग सियासी प्रतिक्रियाएं आ रही हैं. लेकिन अब ये साफ हो चुका है कि जहांगीरपुरी इलाके में जो सुबह से बुलडोजर चल रहा था, और ये देखिए ये जो दुकानें हैं, इन दुकानों को तोड़ा गया जो इलीगल इंक्रोचमेंट था. अभी बुलडोजर, ये जो बुलडोजर सुबह से एक्शन में था, ये थम चुका है. और बकायदा दिल्ली पुलिस के कमिश्नर ने आज तक को साफ कर दिया है कि अब जो ड्राइव है वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के बाद जो है वो बंद हो चुकी है. लेकिन बुलडोजर जब एक्शन में आया था तो कई दुकानों को, कई जो इलीगल इंक्रोचमेंट थे उनको ध्वस्त भी किया है. लेकिन फिलहाल यहाँ पर बुलडोजर थम चुका है. यहाँ पर कई काउंसलर भी आए थे, हमने उनसे बात करने की कोशिश की थी. उनका कहना था कि बड़े पैमाने पर यहाँ पर अवैध निर्माण हुआ है. खास तौर पर कबाड़ी मार्केट जिसका जिक्र किया जा रहा था, उस तरफ भी बुलडोजर एक्शन में आया था. यहाँ से जो दूर की तरफ है, जहाँ से कई हिंसा में जो लोग थे वो शामिल थे, जो वो यहाँ से पर आए थे, और यहीं पर फायरिंग हुई थी अर्पिता. तो यहीं पर एक्शन बुलडोजर का चला था. लेकिन फिलहाल ये साफ हो चुका है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के बाद अब बुलडोजर का एक्शन थम चुका है.
All right, so the street is clear. The JCBs have done what they were ordered to do. But will the place again be calm? The street where there is a mosque, a temple, a Ramlila ground, according to the locals, this is a flare-up that they had never seen. Behind me are just broken sheds and banners and electrical wires that are caught between these sheds. Remember, this has been not easy for the JCB with live wires coming in from this site. Now, why is this location most important? According to the videos that have surfaced, according to preliminary reports that have surfaced, this is a mosque from where alleged stone pelting had happened. They are alleging there was swords brandished from the Shobha Yatra, there was provocation from the Yatra, and these are different claims that have come. The site has not been touched. The religious site has not been touched, but any unauthorized locations, and I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8 to 10 shops which have their additional encroachments that have been completely demolished. What is happening now? All the remnants that are being taken in that truck. Let's give you a larger picture. The JCBs are heading back. People have started to now come on the streets. All the remnants are now being taken away in the trucks. Shreya Chatterjee, covering all the angles with regard to investigation probe, is also now joining me from Jahangirpuri. Now, the police says they are ensuring that the culprits will be caught, Shreya. There is an allegation by some locals that there is a community bias with respect to the accused. Is the police telling you that's not the case? How are they ensuring this remains a fair investigation to ensure examples are set so such communal tensions do not repeat again?
Well, Pooja, I have to repeat this, that the arrests that have been made in this particular case, we see that arrests have been made for both sides. There are people from both the communities who've been arrested. We have seen how there are at least 5 people and 2 minors who've been arrested from the other side. There has been same sections, same arms act that has also been registered against them in the FIR. So far as the biasness of the Delhi police is concerned, they have already given that statement via the FIR that they have registered with people from both the communities figure. Now, if you talk about the demolition drive, whether that is a one-sided action, that was an indirect message sent out to the rioters, Pooja. I was told by one of these people, and I will show you the location. I'll ask you, my cameraman, to show you the location. You see that house, which is the blue house with the shutter. I was told that this belongs to the another community, and you can see how his steps have also been broken down. So in a coming time, once MCD also gives us the clarification that the encroachment drive was conducted, how the encroachment drive was conducted, who were these people, how were they shortlisted, we'll probably get some clarity. But I was told by Hussain, whose shop was encroached, that one of the staircases of this very house, this house belongs to someone who is from the other community. So yes, there is counter claims and claims and allegations, but we'll have to go by evidence. And evidence so far as Delhi police has given is that they have filed the FIR against both the community. How that pans out, how the investigation pans out, what are the kind of charges that will be leveled, how the charge sheet will be filed, that will be a follow-up, and then we'll get to know that how fair this whole investigation was. But so far, Delhi police maintains that their investigation is fair.
Absolutely. It has to be fair, Shreya. It will have to be fair if the agencies and the police in Delhi, it is country's capital city, to ensure that we've had 2020 Northeast Delhi riots. Now, this communal scuffle was nothing compared to that massive mayhem and murders and killings that had happened, but it could flare up, and it has to be ensured that nobody should be allowed to take law into their hands. Also, Amit Bharadwaj now joins me. Remember, India Today is the only channel getting you team of reporters from all sides so that every voice reaches you and so that you as a viewer can decide what is the ground status. Amit Bharadwaj, have the JCB stopped now? Why has the work stopped? Are they saying they have finished, or are they saying it's because of the order has reached them? They may return later once the hearing starts in the Supreme Court tomorrow. Amit Bharadwaj.
Pooja, the demolition drive in Jahangirpuri has been officially stopped for the day, and this decision has been taken because, according to the North MCD officials, they have now received the Supreme Court's instruction of maintaining status quo. Now remember, at least for an hour and a half, this demolition activity in Jahangirpuri today continued despite the Supreme Court giving the order of maintaining status quo in Jahangirpuri, where the violence had happened on Hanuman Jayanti. And what we saw after the order of the Supreme Court, we saw that 2 bulldozers at least were in action. First, it pulled down a juice corner on the street. After that, it came straight to this Jahangirpuri mosque, which had become the flashpoint on Hanuman Jayanti. And I'll just show you the visuals as to what happened after that and how the locals are pretty angry right now. This particular wall has been raised down by the bulldozer. These are the grills of of the shop which was inside the Jahangirpuri mosque. The locals are now trying to remove those obstacles, the debris from the area, because remember, this is Ramzan. It is time of Azan as well, and the prayers are to be offered around this time around only. Later in the evening, people in large numbers come to the mosque to offer namaz, and after that they break their fast, they have iftar. So clearly locals are also at work. The local residents are removing the debris, but I'll show you these are the wall and railings over which the the communal classes that day had begun. A lot of people have claimed that there was another group of people who were trying to, come around this particular mosque, but those railings and walls have been raised down by the North MCD, and the claim is that this particular area, this particular construction was illegal. They have not touched the mosque. Remember, this is the boundary wall of the mosque and the gate of the mosque which has been raised down by the MCD bulldozers. The power has been cut because apparently the shops adjoining in the compound of the mosque have been raised down as well, and the power supply in these cables were there, and that is why the electricity department staffers came here. They climbed the stairs and they have cut the power supply to these particular shops where the bulldozers had come into action. One more thing that is to be noted here is that a few minutes back, locals had come here in large numbers and they were pretty angry with the kind the demolition activity had been carried out, and their question was why attack the mosque? That was the primary question. And I'll also try to cut across to the people who are trying to remove the debris from the spot, right from the mosque. Sir, क्या नाम है आपका? क्या नाम है आपका सर?
जावेद सैफी।
अभी क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोग?
हम अपना जो बचा कुचा जो सामान है वो अंदर अपना सेफ्टी से रख रहे हैं
जी।
और जो भी ये
दुकानदार हैं या फिर दुकानदार हैं?
दुकानदार
जी। और ये मॉस्क के जो दीवार तोड़ी गई और कई सारी दुकानें तोड़ी गई, एमसीडी कह रही है कि इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन था ये।
इस बारे में कोई पता नहीं है, ये पकड़ ले।
क्या और इस वक्त काफी सारे गुस्से में लोग यहाँ पे इकट्ठा हुए थे, वो कौन लोग थे?
समय कौन थे? दुकानदार थे जिनके साथ नुकसान हुआ है, जिनका नुकसान हुआ है तोड़ा गया, वो दुकानदार ही थे।
आपको कब नोटिस दिया गया था एमसीडी के द्वारा?
नोटिस तो कोई मिला ही नहीं
जी।
कोई नोटिस
बिना नोटिस का डेमोलिशन
बिना
हुआ
नोटिस के।
अभी क्या आप लोग कोर्ट जाएंगे? क्या एक्शन सोच रहे हैं आप लोग?
ये तो जी अभी जो दुकानदार मीटिंग करेंगे या जो मशवरा करेंगे जैसा भी वो लोग बताएंगे।
So clearly, people are angry. They are little disappointed that they were not given notices, and without giving notices, these demolition activity was carried out near the mosque. That is what the locals claim. And let me also tell you that until few minutes back, locals had gathered here. Largely, they were women who had come here, and they were constantly saying that why the bulldozers touched the compound of the basically the boundary wall or the grills of the mosque. Over to you.
Residents telling us about the ground situation. I can tell you, because of the heavy deployment of the Delhi police, the CRPF, SSB, the Rapid Action Force in different areas, they have been deployed to ensure that the situation remains under control. People are now starting to open up their shops. So while the shops that was allotted has been there, but it is right in front of any illegal encroachment that has now been demolished. People are now starting to come out, open their businesses. Now, I can tell you a very interesting assessment that I got from speaking to locals here. All of them agreed that anything that was unauthorized had to be taken down, and they have approved of that action. But what they are claiming is, one, why was an earlier notice not given so that they could take away their items? Secondly, they are saying that why did it have to happen after the communal flare-up? If that is the reason, why couldn't they stop it in time? And of course, there are allegations if this is also biased with regard to a community. But right now, I can tell you that all of these broken sheds that have been pulled down, tin sheds, but also it appears that the administration has been doing it on a regular basis. A local resident tells me that every few months a committee, which is a common way to refer to the MCD or any of the administration officials, that the committee comes and brings these sheds down. That means these sheds go back up again. until administration again comes? Can there be a proper policy and ensure that if there are unauthorized constructions, they're not allowed? Nobody puts them up in the first place so that the administration doesn't have to pull them down before or after a communal flare-up. Now, this street that I'm reporting from has a temple, and just about 100 meters away from here is the mosque where the alleged stone pelting had started, and they are stating that it is because of the provocation of the sloganeering. As different claims and videos emerge, it is under investigation. But for now, the demolition that had been started in the morning has stopped. It has stopped not because the work has finished, because the MCD says that they have received the official order by the Supreme Court. It's a notification, means that the hearing, once it commences tomorrow, they will decide to carry on or now. And this, while the investigation is on, with 25 people who have been taken into arrest. Amit Bharadwaj continues to be with us. Amit, can you, for our viewers, like I am showing the area 360-degree view, show to our viewers what does Jahangirpuri look like? Because I've been reiterating since morning that people who know Delhi may just know a part of Delhi. There is the South Delhi, Central Delhi. There is also there is a Jahangirpuri, a northeast area. There are different by-lanes. There are bungalows on one side. There are scrap shops on another. So there are many Delhis in one Delhi, and Jahangirpuri is one such Delhi. We'll continue to bring you updates on this story. Just a quick look of how the Delhi police currently taking a break as the matter has been peacefully resolved. The demolition has been carried out. Many of them are seated. Remember, the temperature also very high in the national capital. Amit Bharadwaj continues to bring us updates. Amit, like I've been showing the streets to our viewers so that they get an assessment of what the area looks like, if you can also possibly show a 360-degree view and tell us what does the area of Jahangirpuri look like before and after, specifically how the demolition has taken place. Amit, over to you.
Right, Pooja. I'll just explain the entire situation and the area as well. Now, this is the stretch, remember, where the Jahangirpuri Mosque is located, where the violence had happened on 16th of April, Hanuman Jayanti Shobha Yatra. This was the flashpoint between the two communities, and according to several fact-finding reports by other, non-political and political organizations, they have found out that the stone pelting between the two communities had begun at this particular stretch itself. And I'll ask my colleague to come to the other side of this particular stretch. Why that is important is that if you would look at the barricades that has been put by the Delhi police, that is the stretch, the street where the violence between the two communities had happened during the Hanuman Jayanti Shobha Yatra. This is a restroom kind of area where the Delhi police officials are sitting right now. Remember, they were on their toes since this morning because the North MCD had sought security for this demolition drive. They have been saying that the illegal encroachment in this area has been there for the longest time. However, it was after the Hanuman Jayanti Shobha Yatra violence they have gotten extra security from the Delhi police, and that is how they went ahead with this demolition drive today. And because the demolition activity has been stopped for the day, what you see is that finally the police officials who were in the security of this particular area to maintain law and order situation, they have also taken a sigh of relief. There's a moment of rest that they are taking. And if we have come to the other side of this stretch, now what you see is the Delhi police riot vehicle is there. The paramilitary forces are still on the street. They are keeping an eye of the situation. And these are the visuals of the houses where the bulldozer, where the JCB was operational this morning. You could see all these areas. These were pakka constructions which were done over the a sewage or the drain that has been demolished as well. And after that, the JCB machine actually went across to this particular building, which was a juice corner, and this demolition happened. I remember the time as well. dot and dot, like at 11:30 in the morning, the demolition activity was carried out on this particular two-story building. The owner of the building were saying to India Today, telling to India Today that they are legal allottee of this particular structure, and they were allotted this structure in 1977. And since then, they have been running a juice shop in this particular structure. And that structure was taken down by the North MCD officials, by the North MCD bulldozer this morning. After that, 2 bulldozers, and this happened even after the Supreme Court's status quo instruction, status quo order, which essentially means that nothing can be changed after that particular order is passed. However, the North MCD officials continued their work, and they carried out the demolition activity after the status quo order in this particular building. After that, the 2 JCBs went from this stretch to the other side of the stretch where the mosque is located, and with the mosque, at least 12 shops there. Extensions. When I say extension, what exactly I mean is the tin shades, which are essentially put outside the shops to, take care of the heat, to take care of the climatic conditions, rain, as well as to store something for display outside the shops. Those tin shades were raised down by the bulldozers, 2 bulldozers of the North MCD. And the mosque is right there. Along with it are 12 shops, at least 12 shops, including shops that are owned by both communities. Now remember, the allegations that the demolition activity is a vindictive activity, people from a specific community are being targeted. But on India Today's group's camera, we have seen that several shop owners, including a mobile shop owner, who had said that his shop was demolished, the extension was demolished. He belongs to the Hindu community. So clearly, you have people from both communities who have suffered the losses, and they are saying again and again they were not given any notices by the North MCD for this demolition activity. And these are the visuals on the ground right now.
Amit, stay on with me, because what we see right now is a massive political face-off. Aam Aadmi Party, that is heading the Municipal Corporation of Delhi, that carried out this demolition drive, is in complete political showdown with the Aam Aadmi Party. With the BJP that is heading the MCD, I repeat, and Aam Aadmi Party that is in the Delhi government, and they are currently in a political showdown. So what happens? Brinda Karat of the CPM, left party leader, lands up on location in a dramatic style, stops the JCB operator to operate and says this is a Supreme Court order. We'll get a quick reaction from the local residents here while the netas are fighting. Remember, many of these residents whose shops and additional unauthorized encroachments have been pulled down are reluctant to speak, also because the matter is under investigation. They are now picking out their remnants, putting it aside. The question is, will all of this come back again? Will the committee, the MCD, will have to arrive again? But let's talk to one shop that was not touched because it did not have any additional encroachment. It is one of this mother dairy shops that have been kept. Sir, आप कितने सालों से यहाँ पर रह रहे हैं?
20 साल से जी।
20 साल हो गया। आज आपको लगता है थोड़ा शांति है? ये सब जो इतना हुआ, सुबह भी बहुत टेंशन था यहाँ पर, परसों भी इतना कुछ हुआ, कुछ हमें बताएं किस तरह ये पिछले कुछ दिन रहे हैं जहांगीरपुरी के लोगों के लिए, सी ब्लॉक एरिया?
वो तो कह रहे हैं, लेकिन अब तो शांति थी। ये तो आज, हाँ, ये तो आज है, शांति हुई है। आज बिल्कुल वैसे हो गया।
3 दिन तक कैसा था?
वो दो रोज सही रहा जी।
अच्छा, ठीक
था, पुलिस बहुत थी, लेकिन ये तो आज से और डरावना माहौल हो गया।
आज और डरावना हो गया सुबह से?
हाँ, सुबह से।
तो आपको लगता है अनऑथोराइज्ड वगैरह काफी जगह थी, ये हटनी चाहिए थी, जरूरी थी?
ना, बस खाना कमाना चल रहा था यहाँ। इतना ट्रैफिक तो रुकता नहीं कोई यहाँ से, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं जी, किसी कोई शिकायत नहीं थी।
20 साल में पहले कभी आपने देखा इस तरह के झगड़े जो हो रहे थे दो कम्युनिटीज के?
कभी नहीं।
20 साल में इस एरिया में कभी
नहीं देखा। हमारी बराबर मंदिर है, कभी नहीं हो, कुछ बात ही नहीं, पता ही नहीं था,
सब शांति से निकल।
जी, ये तो आज ऐसा लग रहा कि क्या है।
So, they are of course now remembering, once the situation is comparatively calmer, that they haven't seen this flare up. But remember, this area has been communally sensitive, specifically at a point when there are religious processions. 2 processions of Shobha Yatra went by on the streets. 2-3 यात्राएं निकल गई थी। हाँ, 2-3 यात्राएं निकल गई थी। आप यहीं के हैं लोकल, तो 2 यात्रा आराम से निकल गई थी।
हाँ जी हाँ जी।
क्या शाम की यात्रा का ये हुआ है?
हाँ, शाम को जो हुआ 6 बजे के बाद हुआ था।
इससे पहले कुछ ऐसा नहीं हुआ? That is what a lot of eyewitnesses have said, that it was a final yatra at about 5-6 p.m. That then suddenly turned violent. Now, whether it was from the Shobha Yatra side, whether it was the stone pelting, that is still now being investigated. Amit Bharadwaj is also on the location, and we are trying to get you as many voices as possible. So, Amit Bharadwaj, where does the investigation stand right now? 25 people arrested. Ansar is one of the prime accused, a gangster flaunting jewelry, BMW vehicle. We have managed to track down his house in Haldia in Bengal as well. So this is a part of the developing story. But 25 people under arrest. Are there juveniles also? Are there women included? And are there likely to be more arrests taking place?
Well, Pooja, the investigation is actually at a very primary stage right now. What Delhi police is doing right now is that they are going by the chain of events, how things unfolded during the Hanuman Jayanti Shobha Yatra. And along with that, they are also trying to identify the individuals on the basis of the CCTV footage, on the basis of the mobile camera footage, on the basis of different visuals that are floating on social media. First verifying those visuals, and after that identifying those individuals as to those who were involved in the violence which happened when the Hanuman Shobha Yatra was crossing this Jahangirpuri's stretch. And remember, the prime accused in that particular case is Mohammad Ansar, whom India Today have tracked down not only in Delhi but also in West Bengal. We have reached out to the relatives and the family members of Mohammad Ansar. Now, the Delhi police is saying that Ansar is not a newbie when it comes to the violence or the criminal activities. He had at least two cases against him filed in the past, which included assault, and the FIR was also lodged under Arms Act. That's what Delhi police officials have told the media about Ansar. Now, there's a lot of questioning and commotion around Ansar itself, because Ansar has now become not only the prime accused of the case, but he has also become the prime agenda for war of words between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, the Bharatiya Janata Party said that Mohammad Ansar actually belongs from the Aam Aadmi Party. This is the allegation which was posed by North East Delhi MP Manoj Tiwari, and after that Professor Rakesh Sinha had also alleged that several members of the Jahangirpuri violence are activists of Aam Aadmi Party, and Professor Rakesh Sinha had gone on to say that Aam Aadmi Party must clarify and must say that they have no links with the writers of Jahangirpuri violence. This is the one side of the story. The other side of the story began yesterday in the evening when Atishi, who is Aam Aadmi Party's senior leader and MLA, she said that, that Mohammad Ansar belongs from BJP. He had been active in BJP rallies in the BJP's election campaigns. So Mohammad Ansar has become a bone of contention in the entire Jahangirpuri violence, and both Aam Aadmi Party and BJP is attacking each other
Aam Aadmi
over
Party
this
and
particular
BJP
accused.
are all guns blazing right now. Was prime accused Ansar a part of the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Aam Aadmi Party? But the fact is, he is a well-known gangster and criminal, has had a criminal past as well, according to the Delhi police. While all of that is being tracked and people here are picking up the remnants of these unauthorized constructions, I'm heading into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. India Today gets you all sides of the stories, gets you all the voices, the only channel that's trying to get you to exactly know what happened and what continues to happen here in northeast part of Delhi, Jahangirpuri. See you after a very short break. Thank you for watching.